Hey guys, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Medieval Kingdoms Total War 1212 AD here today on the channel. We're back on Total War Attila. We have another online multiplayer battle replay. This time around, it's a 2v1 defensive siege. We have England defending against Milan and Switzerland. So if you like the sound of that, feel free to leave the video a like and subscribe if you're new. I'd really much appreciate it. Feel free to send your Total War battle replays over on my Discord, linked in the description below. So here we go. Let's have a look at the Switzerland player. He's managed to bring 6 siege towers as he slowly but surely makes his way onto the castle walls. He's also got a cannon or 2 here and there. Numerically, looking at both sides, it's quite even, but it's going to be interesting to see if 2 players can outmuscle one in a defensive siege. He will have the micro against him, the defensive player, but will the teamwork and communication between the 2 attackers, will they be able to win out? So we've got a Switzerland cannon here, ready to try and break down that English war. We're going to get a shot on here, or we're just going to wait for them to reload and stare at this huge chunk of metal awkwardly. It might be the latter. It doesn't seem to be shooting off. Anyway, the siege tower's moving on here. We've got some arrow fire coming over the top as well. Will they be able to engulf any of those arrow towers? Potentially. We'll just have to see. So, it looks like the England player has made the decision to abandon the walls as well. He doesn't seem to have any of his infantry or archers up there. Okay, so the English player has a trebuchet in the center as well. I can't wait to see that. Oh, he does actually have some of his own cannons as well defending, while the Milan player brings up 4 siege towers. Okay, and now they're moving up there with their heavy shock infantry as well. Here is the County of Milan pushing on up. Oh, they got some cannon fire going off. Oh, it nearly hit the tower and the gateway. They're trying to break on through. Maybe even trying to neutralize that cannon. So the wall's at 76% there. Oh, here goes another cannon shot. Will they be able to break and bombard through? The tower's gone. So I would imagine they're going to go for the wall next. So what's the situation? I guess England has taken the territory and maybe in France, while an alliance between the Swiss and the Milanese unite. 2 Holy Roman Empire subjects go to deal with the English inside. Another cannon shot off here. And that's it. The castle is breached. The wall has broken on down. And now Switzerland can surge on in through this breach. So it only took 3-4 cannon shots, and Switzerland is now on the offensive. So he has put a lot of spearmen covered by some archers there, and he's swinging a lot of his infantry on this eastern side to the English player, as he knows the full-on attack, and that's the first part of the castle that's been breached. He's even got some caltrops and stones in there to defend as well. That should slow down any offensive units pushing on in. And here we go. Switzerland's making their way over the rubble as the siege towers have finally made their way up onto the walls, and the Swiss surge on in. They're not all fully neutral in this one. They've come to conquer. Okay, so we've got some trebuchets here as well. We might be able to see some of those shots firing up and over the top. And it looks like here as well, Milan has taken the walls. There's a little bit of fighting as some poor engineers on that cannon get taken on through. No, the poor engineers. They've been taken on through. Switzerland's spears have swarmed their way on through the city streets and bringing down this English barricade that they've put up. It's been a bit of a standoff here as England sits back in a shield wall defensive formation. and the Swiss are trying to just move their way on through. So Milan and both Switzerland have taken the walls and the gateway, and they're actually using the walls in this offensive siege a bit defensively to their advantage. Most of the army is either split between the walls and just on the border there of the town square. So it is nearly turning into a bit of a battle on the inside here. So look at the discipline of these lads though. The Swiss have moved up. There's been a casualty or two here and there, but he knows, the Swiss player, that it's going to be really quite hard to push on through that English defensive position. Check it out, there's no fighting going on there. Okay, so we've got the Milanese here. They've got some archers giving some support, arcing their shot up and over that barricade. And they're really just waiting for a cohesive attack. England did move out a cavalry unit. That's now come back in. They might look to cycle charge and get some of those units if they get exposed. So they're currently trading fire on the left-hand side. Switzerland's now moving units up, and Milan might be as well. However, there's a brave English cavalry charge that has caught a Milanese sword unit here. And although this is a defensive English battle, this English unit is just getting absolutely shredded by Milanese archers that occupy the walls. Oh my god, they are just getting rip-roared through. However, they're trying to take out as many Milanese infantry as they can. What a glorious cavalry charge as these heavier armoured knights can't hold for much longer. This is going to be the one charge there by the look of it. Oh, it looks like they've advanced and attacked. Fierce fighting is now breaking out on the Swiss and English front as the Swiss men-at-arms and spearmen push their way on up, and they're getting aerial support here by those archers. Up on the walls, they're brilliantly able to arc their shots up and over the top, and maybe even the top and the backhand side of those defensive English infantry there, because hitting them front on, yeah, those arrows are just going to shatter and splinter if they hit the shields. Also, this poor unit there had to make its way through a bunch of caltrops and rocks and defensive barricades there. Could you imagine walking through those rocks? It's like walking on a bunch of Lego pieces with bare feet. I'm sure it would hurt. So we've got some Swiss trying to hit their English longbowmen further at the back, and they're currently trading as well. But it does look like the British long yeomen are getting a hard deal of it. A lot of their retainer has now been depleted, but they're trying to trade as well. They're shooting up and over the buildings there, and they seem to be hitting these Swiss crossbowmen here. Although they're shielded and getting their shots off well, they're trading quite hard. There's a lot of back and forth there. Straight through the center here as well. The Swiss are trying to break through the English low block, and same here as well. But casualties wise, it is still really quite close for this one. It does look like, wow, Milan is probably having a harder time over here. There seems to be a lot of casualties trading, but for now this is super hard to call. Let me know in the comments, who do you think is going to win? Do you think it's going to be the English defensive player, or will it be the two-man alliance between Switzerland and Milan? But however, it does look like the English have gone on the offensive here. They've managed to take the fight to the Milanese, and they've caught them on the wall. So although they abandoned them earlier in this siege, it looks like they want to stake a claim and gain and strangle back some control on the castle walls there. Man, this is going to be a close one. I can't wait to see who can push on through and win this one out. Okay, so England has taken Milan really head on, but we've got some trebuchet fire on here. We haven't seen any in this battle just yet. So here is currently the layout of this siege. Switzerland's wavering back and forth. They seem to be holding England quite well. Still a 50-50. Archers now trading. But now, yeah, the trebuchet were cool, calm and collected in reserving their ammunition. He could have been shooting wildly at the infantry that made up to the walls, maybe even trying to hit the siege towers as well, but he he made the decision to hold on to that ammunition, although his city is now in flames and some poor Englishman's house has been burned out. You burnt down the pub! It seems to be working quite well, because now he can hit these spear units there. Look at this! And put some really decent damage in here against those Swiss infantry. Because they're really... Look at this. There's still 5 English infantry still quite holding against the Swiss 4. This is going to be super hard to break on down through this side. I still can't tell who's winning. It is still ultra close in this one. Trebuchet fire is still filtering on out. And he might have even his own men there slightly. But Switzerland are having a super hard time to breaking through the English line on this West Ham on this West Ham side of the battle map. I need to stop making fun of the English. Anyway, it looks like the Milanese can't seem to progress either. So it might come down to if the Swiss can push on through and advance. Because by the look of it, it has now swung to a 60% favour in the balance of power to the English. Will he be able to stand off against the 2v1? It's going to be an interesting one. I think that's a good advantage because obviously across Total Wars, particularly in sieges, the defensive player always has the advantage. Particularly with arrow towers in these later Total Wars in Rome 2 and Attila. They're basically like machine guns. They can absolutely just rip-roar any enemy opposition looking to push for an offensive siege. So making it a 2v1... giving him a little bit more hard micro just to... Like the English defensive player here is focusing on 2 human AI attacks, which can be quite hard to combat. But by the look of it, it does look like Switzerland has the advantage here, and they're slowly but surely making their way to the town square, and they want to try and neutralize that trebuchet as much as they can, because they are just getting absolutely tagged, hit, and phased out there because of it. So, oh no! This poor fella there got lopped off in a crazy animation. But yeah, it was an interesting play, keeping his ammunition for his trebuchet in reserve. We've also got some cavalry coming on in here as well. The Swiss general is now here, and mostly the trebuchet ammunition is no more. So Switzerland do seem to have the advantage as they push on into the town square. We might even have a cavalry cycle charge here, if we're lucky. Or it's going to eye on up and stare awkwardly at the English defender there. It looks like the trebuchets are actually recalibrating to potentially hit the Milanese that are coming in. The Milanese have really struggled on this other side here, while Switzerland is now making their way into the town square and capture point. But it looks like the handgunners are going to push on here. And they are going to move on in and neutralize those trebuchet to stop any additional shots coming off. I don't think they're probably going to get any more off. But the handgunners are going to drop their weapons and draw their short swords and get rid of this trebuchet unit now and stop any fellow casualties going on. There we go, lads. Get stuck in. Only a couple more seconds remaining. But I think it's going to be a close one in the end. Oh, and it's going to end in a Switzerland close defeat. Oh, I think the battle replay's bugged. We can't have a look at the casualties sustained and inflicted. That's a shame. So it looks like England were able to hold it on off. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this Medieval Kingdoms Total War 1212 AD battle. It was a good one. It was a good siege in the end. But yeah, stay tuned for more replays coming out on the channel across all Total Wars soon. Thanks, guys. Also, a massive shout out to the players in this replay. It's a shame their name didn't come up this time. It usually does. Anyway, I'm going to play the outro now. Take care, guys. Unfortunately, it's time to end the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Check out my social media links in the description below if you want to stay connected with me. I also want to say thank you to this month's patrons and channel members: Victor K, Sebastian C, Jordan K, Caesar L, Brian S, Tao, Lion B, Kyle P, Tom C, and White P. My name has been Simpzy. Much love from Australia. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.